SunWu, about 545 BC, about 470 BC, also known as Chengqing. At the end of the spring and autumn period, he was born in Lan, Qi State, now northern Shandong Province. A famous military strategist and statesman in the spring and autumn period of China, he was honored as the Sage of Soldiers or Sun Tzu, SunWu's. After Sun Wu became a noble of Chen State, in the 13th year of King Zhou 532 BC, there was civil strife in Chui, and Sun Wu fled to Wu to escape the chaos. After entering Wu, he lived in seclusion for a long time and devoted himself to the study of military science. After King Helu of Wu came to the throne, Sun Wu was recommended by Wu Zixu many times and dedicated his 13 chapters on the art of war to Helu, who was appointed as a general. Sun Wu is honored as Sun Tzu, also known as Sage of War and Sage of Military Strategies. He is known as the master of military strategies for a century and the originator of Oriental military science. The Art of War by Sun Tzu is the earliest extant military book in China. The book has a total of more than 5,000 words and is divided into 13 chapters. Therefore, later generations often call it 13 Chapters of Sun Tzu. In addition, Sun Wu also has some works on the art of war. However, because they were outside the 13 chapters, most of them were later lost. Sun Tzu's Art of War expounds the rules for defeating the enemy in war, how the army should be organized and built, and the strategic principles that must be followed during combat. The tactical skills of attacking the enemy on the battlefield, some special fighting methods, and the logistics work of the army, etc., embody Sun Tzu's complete military ideological system. The art of war not only teaches us how to fight and attack, but more importantly, it teaches us how to protect ourselves. In this seemingly peaceful society, it is definitely useful to understand some strategies and learn to protect yourself. Whether you are a business person or not, whether you are on the battlefield of interpersonal relationships every day, you must take a good look at today's video. It gave me a deeper understanding of the importance of strategy, knowing yourself and your enemy, and using softness to overcome strength. These ideas and principles can not only be applied in the military, but also penetrate into all aspects of life, becoming a valuable guide on my life path. Soldiers are important matters of the country, the place of life and death, and the path to survival. They must be observed. War is a major national matter, related to the life and death of the country, and must be treated with caution. Therefore, those who are good at fighting will be in an invincible position without losing the enemy. A person who is good at fighting always ensures that he is in an invincible position while not letting go of any mistakes made by the enemy. Emphasize the importance of combining defense with offense. Therefore, the victory of those who are good at fighting has no reputation for wisdom and no bravery. Generals who are truly good at using troops will not excessively pursue personal reputation and merit, but focus on the actual effects of the war and the overall interests of the team. Therefore, the method of using troops is not to rely on the enemy not coming, but to rely on me to be ready, to rely on not on the enemy not to attack, to rely on the fact that I have something that cannot be attacked. The principle of using troops is not to count on the enemy not coming, but to rely on one's own preparation, not to count on the enemy not to attack, but to rely on one's own strength that the enemy cannot break. The troubles in the world all arise from small anger. The conflicts in the world often arise from petty resentments. It reveals that contradictions and conflicts often arise from subtleties and reminds people to pay attention to small things in daily life. As long as the saint does not die, thieves will continue. When people blindly pursue the teachings of sages, it will lead to the proliferation of immoral behaviors. Emphasis on rational balance. Be prepared for danger when you are in peace, and be prepared for danger even in a comfortable environment. You must also consider potential crises and take precautions to avoid disasters. The importance of planning ahead was emphasized. Chaos is born from governance. Timidity is born from courage. Weakness is born from strength. Chaos comes from poor governance. Cowardice comes from being too brave. Weakness comes from being too powerful. Things have two sides, and people should beware of going too far when pursuing a certain goal. Law is the beginning of governance. Power is the beginning of government. Law is the foundation of governance, and power is the basis of politics. It illustrates Sun Tzu's understanding of the relationship between law and power, and believes that both are important factors in the stability of the country. If there is no battle but the temple is considered the winner, it must be counted as more. If there is no battle but the temple is not considered the winner, it must be counted as the minority. He who plans well will win, and he who plans hastily will lose. He emphasized the importance of planning and believed that victory lies in adequate preparation and precise calculation. If you know yourself and the enemy, victory is not in danger. If you know heaven and earth, victory is possible. If you understand both the enemy and yourself, there will be no danger in victory. If you understand both the time and the location, victory will be completely guaranteed. The best strategy is to defeat the enemy with strategy. The next best is to defeat the enemy through diplomacy. The next best is to defeat the enemy with force. And the worst is to attack the city. The concerns of a wise man must be mixed with interests and harms. A truly wise man will fully consider the pros and cons when making decisions. Therefore, victorious troops win first and then fight, while defeated troops fight first and then seek victory. In war, we should first create the conditions for victory and then fight, rather than blindly engaging in battle. In political decision-making, leaders should first formulate clear goals and strategies. Therefore, victory is more important than duration in war. The purpose of war is to win, not to last. Soldiers are deceitful. Therefore, when it is possible, it is shown that it cannot be used. When it is used, it is shown that it is not used. When it is close, it is shown that it is far away. And when it is far, it is shown that it is close. Deception and strategy are used in war to confuse the enemy and achieve a surprise victory. In political struggles, strategy and resourcefulness are equally important. To subdue the enemy without fighting is the best of all tactics. Attack the enemy where he is least prepared and take actions that the enemy least expects. Unpredictable as the dark clouds, swift as thunder. Unpredictable as the dark clouds, swift as thunder. This reflects Sun Tzu's view on the power of action and the secrecy of strategy, and his belief that only by taking the enemy by surprise can victory be achieved. The shape of a soldier is like water. The shape of water avoids heights and tends to go down. The shape of soldiers avoids reality and hits the weak. The use of troops is like water flow. Water chooses its flow direction according to the terrain. The use of troops must avoid the enemy's strong points and attack its weak points. Therefore, those who are good at fighting seek power and do not blame others, so they can choose people and follow the power. People who are good at fighting focus on creating and exploiting favorable situations rather than relying solely on individuals. A prepared army can defeat an unprepared army, and an army with a capable general and a monarch who does not interfere can win. Lure them with profit, take them with chaos. Prepare them with actual strength. Avoid them with strength, scold them with anger, be arrogant with humiliation. Work with them with loss, get close with them. and leave them, inducing the enemy through various strategies, such as luring them to gain advantage, causing chaos to change, avoiding them to use strength, and to provoke them to anger, etc., in order to achieve tactical goals. Therefore, those who are good at using troops are like being forthright. Those who are forthright are like snakes on the Changshan Mountains. If you hit the head, the tail will arrive. If you hit the tail, the head will arrive. If you hit the middle, both the head and the tail will arrive. People who are good at using troops, like being straightforward, can quickly adapt to changes and be flexible. Therefore, soldiers have heard of clumsy and quick tactics, but have never seen clever and long-lasting tactics. In war, it is better to adopt simple, direct and quick tactics, rather than complex, clever, but time-consuming methods. Treat chaos with calmness. Wait for chaos with calmness. This is how to heal the mind. Fighting chaos with order and fighting noise with calmness are strategies to control your mentality. Therefore, there are 5 dangers for a general. Being too merciful may lead to being killed. Being too decisive may lead to being captured. Being quick to anger may lead to being insulted. Being honest may lead to being humiliated. And being too loving to the people may lead to being annoyed. Therefore, those who are good at using spies must first know the enemy's situation, and this understanding must go deep into the enemy's interior. So the role of spies is irreplaceable. The morale of the army can be taken away, and the will of the general can be shaken. Therefore, the army has no fixed position, and water has no fixed shape. Those who can win by adapting to the changes of the enemy are called gods. The way to use troops needs to be flexible and changeable. There is no fixed pattern in war, and there is no fixed shape in water. Only by adapting to the changes of the enemy can we win. The strong avoid the enemy's edge. The wise follow the trend. The strong avoid the enemy's edge. The wise follow the trend. This shows Sun Tzu's balance between strength and wisdom, and his advocacy of following the trend. Throw it into a desperate situation, and then it will survive. Put it into a deadly situation, and then it will live. Put it into a deadly situation, and then it will live. Desperate situations can often inspire amazing fighting power. There are 5 ways to use spies: local spies, internal spies, double agents, doomed spies, and surviving spies. Sun Tzu proposed 5 ways to use spies, emphasizing the importance of intelligence in war. In the political field, information and intelligence are also important bases for decision-making. Therefore, their victory is not repeated, but should be infinite. A victorious general can constantly create new tactics according to the changes on the battlefield. Rather than sticking to fixed tactics, leaders should have the ability to adapt to changes. Therefore, those who are good at mobilizing the enemy make the enemy follow by creating false impressions, and make the enemy take it by giving bait. It emphasizes the importance of controlling the enemy's actions through misleading. When a general is on the battlefield, he may not obey the orders of his superiors. When a general is on the battlefield, he may need to make decisions based on the actual situation instead of following the orders of his superiors. This emphasizes the importance of the commander on the scene. Attack where the enemy is least prepared and take them by surprise. Attack where the enemy is least prepared and take them by surprise. This is the only way to achieve the greatest effect. Avoid the enemy's sharp edge and attack its slackness. Avoid the enemy's sharp edge and attack its slackness. It emphasizes the strategic thinking of seizing the enemy's weaknesses. In war, use conventional methods to fight the enemy and use unusual tactics to achieve victory. The word momentum means to control power based on interests. It means to formulate strategies and seize the initiative based on actual interests. Therefore, those who know how to use troops will not be confused in their actions, and the measures they take will be endless. Those who are good at defense can conceal themselves as if they were hiding deep underground. Those who are good at attacking can move swiftly as if they were descending from a high altitude. Therefore, to kill the enemy, one must arouse their anger. To take the enemy's property, one must use material rewards. We should not seek to possess all of the knowledge in one person, but to share it among others. We should not pursue individual omnipotence, but be good at division of labor and cooperation, to bring into play the collective strength. This reflects Sun Tzu's important understanding of teamwork and division of labor. Those who are good at fighting take advantage of the situation and guide it to develop in a favorable direction. Those who are not good at fighting are trapped by the situation and invite disaster. Courage without strategy will bring harm to oneself. Courage without wisdom will inevitably lead to self-destruction. This explains the philosophical view that courage and wisdom should be given equal weight and emphasizes the importance of reason. A war is won when the general is capable and the monarch does not interfere. This reflects Sun Tzu's philosophical thinking on leadership and trust, believing that giving subordinates full trust and autonomy is the key to success. Victory can be predicted but not forced. Victory can be predicted through observation and strategy, but it cannot be forced. This reflects Sun Tzu's philosophical thinking on fate and free will, and emphasizes the importance of adapting to the timing. A good general avoids the enemy's sharp edge and attacks the enemy's laxity. This contains Sun Tzu's philosophical thinking on taking advantage of the situation and taking advantage of the enemy's weaknesses.